Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Steves here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I'm going to be doing a review on The Hunger Games Catching Fire. So, The Hunger Games Catching Fire is the second installment in the Hunger Games quadrilogy and is directed by Francis Lawrence, who directed the rest of the films, the Hunger Games films, including the new one, and came out in the year 2013. Yes, happy 10th anniversary to this film. And it stars Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, Liam Hemsworth, Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks, Donald Sutherland, Stanley Tucci, Toby Jones, Willow Shields, and new additions. Oh yeah, Jack Quaid is in this one too, and some new additions to the cast, which includes Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace to him, Jeffrey Wright, Sam Claflin, Lenny Kravitz, etc. And so basically, the plot for The Hunger Games: The Catching Fire tells the story of Katniss Everdeen and Peeta, who return home after winning the 74th annual Hunger Games. And so yeah, winning them means that they embark on a tour and still and leave their family and friends behind. But unfortunately though, their win has caused some controversy as has caused some major controversy as the capital is targeting them, and now people are hating on, yeah, people citizens are hating on Katniss for some reason, and then we start to see the capital being just pure evil, being in control by the tyrant, the president, who apparently is fully entirely revealed to be evil, since that wasn't really fleshed out in the first one, and that's one of the criticisms I forgot to mention, by the way. And so yeah, and so years passed, and President Snow offers Katniss a chance to once again compete in the 75th Hunger Games. This time with with Peeta volunteering himself, and yeah, so they all like fight to survive, and they fight to survive, and then the film ends with the capital being truly exposed to it, as Katniss just finds out that the whole thing was staged, and yeah, that's the plot. So yeah, if you guys don't know what I'm doing and you haven't seen the first my review of the first film, I am currently reviewing all the Hunger Games movies leading up to the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Which, by the way, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is now out in my country. Yippee! Yep. I am seeing a movie on Sunday. Yep. I'm seeing Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes on Sunday. I am pretty excited for it. I'm hyped for it. Like, I mean, and despite Rotten Tomatoes not being kind to it, I've actually been hearing great things about the movie from critics that I personally trust. Yeah. So yeah, that's something. So yeah, but yeah, let's focus on the Cannes first. So yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of the first film. I can see where it's coming from. I love its themes, and I think the story is pretty good, and I love the whole social class representation. But the whole thing is just felt unpleasant to watch because of all the shaky cam and the ugly editing and all that stuff. The ugly editing, and not to mention yeah, not to mention yeah, there are a few things I forgot to mention in my review of the first film, like how not everything feels fleshed out. Like I mentioned this earlier when I summarized it, but apparently they did not do much with Snow. I mean, they were already supposed to introduce Snow as his tyrant, but we didn't really see that tyrant in him. We just see Snow just being so Snow, but we feel nothing from him. We don't feel any tyranny from him. Like, he doesn't oppose any threat of any kind. But yeah, when it comes to this second installment in the Hunger Games franchise, this is being raved as the best Hunger Games movie. Yeah, not only is this better received than the first film, although I've heard a few people who prefer the first film over this, more power to them, but but the popular opinion, the majority says that this is their favorite in the franchise and the best Hunger Games movie and so yeah, I didn't see this one in theaters. I did see one of the Hunger Games movies in theaters. I'll mention it when I eventually get to that film. But yeah, this one, yeah, this is considered to be the best one, and yeah, and I'll admit that on first watch, I actually did. I actually agreed with the artist that this is the best Hunger Games movie ever made. Although I didn't really love it, and I think and I thought it was kind of overpraised because people just. It is the best one, but it just the ratings. I thought the ratings were a little too high. Like it's like a 90%. It has a 90% Rotten Tomatoes, and I feel that wasn't it. And yeah, but of course, I gave it a rewatch with a fresh new perspective, considering that my mindset on movies would normally grow and grow and grow, and yeah. So after seeing this movie for myself, Catching Fire, after revisiting this movie, I gotta say, yeah, this movie definitely grew on me. I really dug the hell out of Catching Fire. I think this is a legitimately great movie, and probably the one great movie in the franchise, in the Katniss Everdeen Hunger Games series. I know Battle of the Song vs. Snakes will be great though, and I'm very sure it's gonna be my favorite Hunger Games movie. But when it comes to the others, well, you know my thoughts on the first film, and as for the Mockingjay movies, yeah, I know they're not in the same standards as this one, and they like range in like the threes, like 3 or 3.5, like range around that. But we'll see when I rewatch them. When I rewatch the Mockingjay movies, we will see. But yeah, this one, though, yeah, it definitely is the best one. Now, well, yes. While I did say that this is the best in the franchise, I do have some flaws with it though. This is not a perfect movie, not a masterpiece by any means, and I wanna start off with the flaws first. The few minor gripes that I had with this film because yeah, there were like some minor issues I had, like some flaws. And yeah, let's just get it out of the way first, so I can save my save all the positives I have to say about this film. So yeah, the first 45 minutes to 1 hour was very convoluted and messy. Now I get what it's trying to do. I'll explain more of that in when I talk about the good things, the positives. I will talk about what I liked about it, and I understand what they were trying to go for. But there are like there are like so many things that made no sense in that hour. I was like wondering what is going on, and it just got me desperately waiting for the games to happen because I remember so well that this movie features the actual games like similar to the first film. They did feature the 75th Hunger Games, and we see like Katniss once again going through survival, which is probably the best aspect of the film. That's one thing I'll already say about this, but yeah, we had to go through like so much, just things that don't make sense. I was like, what? Now I know, I know there are people who actually get it, who actually got it based on the reviews I read. They actually got it, and I know you might think that maybe you just have a short attention span. That's why you don't get it, and you're not like going into politics. Yeah, going into politics, like yeah. But there were things I don't understand. Like for example, why does the Capitol have to always just attack? Them like every time they do that, the mocking, the hand gesture thingy to I guess the capital just attacks them and all that stuff. Yeah, and there are like so many instances where the capital just randomly attacks people out of nowhere. Like there are so many times when like a citizen just walk and then the capital just randomly attacks them even though they're just background characters. It feels so random, and you're just wondering why are they doing this. Like I mean, what is going on with it? Yeah, and also I don't understand the controversy. I don't understand the whole controversy between Katniss and Peeta. Now yes, I understand what they're trying to do. I love that they're going with this, but the execution of it all of that aspect is just it doesn't make sense. I mean, in the first film, Katniss was respected for volunteering as a tribute volunteering as a tribute to save herself from Pita and all that stuff. And people just paid respect towards Katniss for being for volunteering herself to join the games, and everyone loved her for that. But then in this movie, apparently she just people just hate her for it, and then they decide to mock her like, oh, can I volunteer? Can I volunteer in that? And then they all like would ask her, hey, tell us the truth. Like I was like, what truth? I mean, what kind of lie is she trying to say? What is like apparently Candace is trying to express an opinion, but what is it that she's trying to say? Like it just doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. So yeah, I guess that's my only those are my only flaws with the film. Oh yeah, maybe a few pacing issues as well, not very good, but other than those things, this movie is very good to me. This the really good to me. Yeah, this is such a damn good sequel. And yeah, like where do I start with the good things? Like first of all, I will say so. This is how you do a sequel, and yeah, this is how you do a sequel. You actually take the lore of the first film and you actually expand on it. You actually expand on this universe. Yeah, and this movie is able to expand on the world building of Panem and showing more than just the games. We actually get to see like a political thriller in this film. And yes, this is not just an action movie. This is a political thriller, and that's probably like the common reoccurring theme in these Hunger Games movies. They're about dynasty. They're about power. They're about just dictatorship, and just showing the horrors of just violence and control. And this movie tackles all of that. Tackles all of that very well. It just shows you how horrible the capital is. Even though, like what I said, the movie doesn't. The writing probably should flesh out a little more on why they're doing this and answer a few questions. But seeing the capital just seeing just attack them, yeah, it is brutal. And once again, just like the first movie, this movie continues to push the PG-13 rating to the limits, and this is some of the this features some of the most violent moments I've ever seen in a PG-13 movie. Yeah, one of my favorite scenes in the film might arguably be my favorite. Oh wait, no, not really. I do have a favorite scene, a definitive favorite scene, and I'll get to it later. Is the scene when Gale gets whipped. Where like that's basically like, well, I don't talk about religious topics in my channel, but I'll just say that like they almost made it like, exactly like how the soldiers whipped the Jesus in the Jesus story. Like they did that to Gale. I mean, like they literally like got naked and just whipped his back with the whip thing, and man, with the whiplash, I think. And man, you really feel bad for him. Like we see people and children just constantly getting tortured. And yeah, you really just feel all that the hate for him and all the hate for them. And that is thanks to the dictatorship of President Snow, who is probably in my top 5 favorite Hunger Games characters and easily the best Hunger Games villain. I just love how threatening he is. And you really feel hate for him. And yeah, he's just such a cold-hearted, manipulative bastard. And you just want to see him lose at this point. You really want to see President Snow lose, and yes, and I'm actually even more excited to see him and to see his young self in Battle of the Sun vs. Snakes. Like we're gonna be seeing how he turned into the dark side. Or in other words, how he became evil, how he became the tyrant that he is today. Because based on the marketing of Battle of the Sun vs. Snakes, he seems so likable. It's like, okay, well, he seems too likable and innocent. I wonder what makes him a villain. And so yeah, I'm after seeing Snow in this movie, I'm even more intrigued now. I'm even more intrigued, and man, yeah, what a, whew. Yeah, he's evil, and you really like even though Snow tries to be nice to Katniss, Snow tries to be nice, yeah, you really get to feel. You really feel it. You really feel the manipulation and the hate for him. Yeah. So yeah, I think he's really good. That's here. And okay, there's something about to say. I was gonna say, but yeah. Oh yeah. Also, by the way, the performances in this movie are outstanding. Yeah, the performances like um Donald Sutherland. I already praised him. I think he is perfect for President Snow. President Snow. Yeah. And once again, Jennifer Lawrence just continues to shine in her signature role as Katniss Everdeen, as well as Josh Hutcherson, and finally, Gale actually gets a lot of screen time because Gale is my favorite male character in this franchise, and my third favorite character. So I'm very happy to see Gale. Just I'm very happy to see Gale. Just how do I say this? Gale just be in this. Be actually have a big role, and he is definitely. Gale is definitely Liam Hemsworth's worst best role ever. Yeah, way better than him, his character, which I already forgot the name in Independence Day Resurgence. Ugh. And also like even the returning cast like Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks, Stanley Tucci, Toby Jones, all gave great performances. And even like the new cast like Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace to him. Yeah. People can praise his character in Mission Impossible 3 all you want. I mean, he was a great villain in that movie, but I think he was better in the Hunger Games movie, specifically the ones where his character shows up in. Yeah, because I kind of like I found his character just a little more memorable, and you really feel that manipulation, especially with a twist. With a twist at the end. Oh boy, yeah, but that twist. We'll get that later on. Oh boy, and yeah, I think this might be his best role yet. Jeffrey Wright, I honestly did not know that. I never knew that Jeffrey Wright was a part of this franchise until I saw this. Yeah, thankfully I was able to recognize him, and I was like, wait, is that Jeffrey Wright? Because yeah, like within the last few times I revisited this franchise, I never noticed that Jeffrey Wright. I never noticed that he was in this franchise, so I was really surprised to see him in this. And Sam Claflin is just very good. One of his better roles yet. And Katniss is a much better character here than in the first one. They really flesh out her character more, and you really feel the chemistry between her and Peeta. Yeah, they both have such perfect chemistry. There is no denying about that. And yeah, one of the things I love about this movie, one of the things I can praise the most about this, well, not praise the most because this is one of those some aspects where the execution isn't very good, but it actually touches upon today's it some of the one certain subject matter that this movie touches upon that can be applied to today is the social aware the media backlash. Yeah, basically this movie actually tackles themes of just standing up to your like how do I say this? Wait, this movie like talks about themes of just how society is just so disrespectful towards other people's opinions and how cruel these people are when it comes to them not giving any freedom for a person to say something. Like it feels so relevant to social media, like them just bashing like people in fandom just bashing Katniss because Katniss has may have an opinion that she cannot say. Which yeah, I still feel confused in with that plot line. Like how does Katniss Katniss how do I say this like how do I say this never mind. Yeah, what did Katniss do that caused her like what opinion did she say that made her so angry? Yeah, I'm a little confused by that but I just love how they did that. And this is 2013. This movie came out in 2013. 2013 was the day 2013 was at the time when there was no controversy yet with the media, and yeah, I can imagine if this movie came out today with those social relevance, with those that social relevance and tackles it, then man, I think this movie would hit harder. In fact, we don't get enough movies about social, you don't get movies about like that. Movies that tackles themes of the media just being evil and constantly not giving others the freedom to say what they want to say, especially with celebrities. Yeah, this movie also kind of explores celebrities being like famous people just being backlash, how that can happen. But I feel like again, like not the best execution. But the thing I would like to praise this movie for the most is the game sport. Yeah, the moment when the 75th Hunger Games actually starts, man, this movie becomes a wild ride, y'all. Yeah, this movie like reaches its full potential, and I think the second half of the movie is freaking perfect. Yeah, it is perfect. The second half, like from that point on until the end. Yeah, and by the way, can we talk about how this is actually much better looking than the first film? Yeah, the first one, the big reasons as to why I don't why the first film isn't very good to me is because of how cheap it looks, especially with all the shaky cam and all that stuff, and all the, not to mention one thing I forgot to mention, the dark visuals as well. It's like the visuals look way too bleak in a bad way, but this movie is able to improve upon that. So yeah, this movie is able to improve upon it. Like the shaky cam is no more. The movie's actually filmed smoother. Like the filming, it's actually a lot smoother now. It's much easier to follow, resulting in the action scenes to be much better. I'll talk about that later. And yeah, Francis Lawrence truly is the definitive Hunger Games director. I don't know he did not direct the first film, because I feel like Francis Lawrence deserves to be the only director of Hunger Games. Gary Ross certainly doesn't fit the role of being Gary Ross just does not fit it. So but yeah, my personal favorite scene in the film. Yeah, now let's talk about the best scene in the film, and this is probably the scene when that's the scene that everyone talks about the most, and for good reason, because it is true. The best scene in the film, we can all agree, is Katniss entering the arena. Oh boy, that scene is amazing. Yeah, like I'm blown away. Yeah, yeah, and like we see Katniss being transported up from this elevator like into the into the arena, and when that while Katniss Everdeen is while the elevator thing or whatever you call it is rising up to the arena, like with following that thing that lifts up, that is lifting up Katniss, you see this aspect ratio change. No, it just slowly becomes enlarges as the elevator thing moves, or whatever you call it. So the lift up on the left, the lift moves up, and then once once Katniss arrives at the arena, oh man, you really arrives at the arena. Oh boy, wow. I mean, you see this whole full IMAX ratio, just legit IMAX. Yeah, I literally wish I saw this movie in theaters, and I mean in IMAX, because that would have been perfect. I've actually read reviews of people who actually saw an IMAX re-release of this, and when this actually got re-released in IMAX, and they said that they actually felt it. They actually felt the IMAX effect in that arena scene. Yeah, it is just impressive, and it just continues on when Katniss has to race for the boats, and you got people just running and swimming and chasing each other, and then you see Katniss using her old bow, just fighting off others to make sure they don't get their hands in the new bow. And man, yeah, the IMAX ratio, yeah, the cinematography is amazing. Totally made up for that bland looking cinematography from the first film. Especially I didn't mention. I know I may not have mentioned that, but it does apply with the shaky cam. The cinematography just bleh. Yeah, the cinematography just blah. But yeah, and yeah, good. And the games part, yeah, it just goes on and doesn't stop. And man, you're really on the edge of your seat throughout the, like the action scenes in this movie are just are definitely an upgrade from the first film, because like whenever you see the action scenes happen, you really like bite your nails. Like this is such nail biting thriller right here. Just seeing them, like in this battle royale, that's actually that manages to be even more epic than the first one, and you just watch them survive the fight. Like you really watch them, and yeah, it just gets really exciting. It gets very intense. It gets very intense, and yeah, I mean, not much else to say other than this. Oh yeah, and by the way, just like the first movie, this movie has CGI creatures, and let me tell you right now, they actually look slightly better than the first one. Yeah, sure, they're not the best design, the most well made designs I've ever seen. I wouldn't say I was blown away by that, but man, they actually but man, those things this time around, they do look really good. They look serviceable this time. At least they try to actually give us good CGI, and you can clearly tell that they definitely had a higher budget that they spent on this, and it was, and if they did have a higher budget, then, or rather like fix my grammar, if they actually did have a higher budget with this film, then boy. And the ending, the cliffhanger ending, basically the ending when they find when the entire twist that really would have your jaw drop. So basically, then the film ended with Katniss figuring out that the whole thing was actually staged when she lifted the bow, when she shot the bow into the air, and then you see like pieces falling, the whole simulator just breaking, and then Katniss finds out that it's all fake, it's all simulator, and then she gets sent into bed and all that stuff, and yeah, and I didn't really see her like in pain. Now she's like in this very angry mood, and the ending just sets up Mockingjay Part One really well. Yeah. So overall, yeah, the Hunger Games Catching Fire is how you do a sequel. You expand on the first film. You expand on the first film's lore by expanding the world building, trying to let us know more about about the world of Panem. It actually like includes very strong social issues like greed, corruption, control, having control over everyone, and just and even like and even like people just not allowing celebrities to express their opinions and all that stuff. And this movie is a lot more exciting. It's definitely a better looking movie, and the action scenes are more intense. I can't think of a single thing that the first one did better than this. Maybe except that maybe Pita was done better in the first one, because in this one was barely in it, so maybe. Yes, this movie is flawed because of how messy and because of how messy the first act was. The themes were there, but the execution was not there, and it is the pacing. Yeah, there's definitely some pacing issues here. But with that said, yeah, I mean, I am definitely impressed, and I agree with the majority that this is the best Hunger Games movie, or rather, should I say, the best in the Katniss Everdeen Hunger Games era. So with that said, I'm gonna give Hunger Games Catching Fire 4 stars out of 5. Great movie. So also for my review of the Hunger Games Catching Fire, what are your thoughts on this movie? Do you agree that this is the best Hunger Games movie, or do you still prefer the first one over this? I'm sure everyone prefers the Mockingjay movies. I'm sure everyone prefers this over the Mockingjay movies. But let me know if you actually think if you actually think the Mockingjay movies are better than this. So yeah, comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for yes, I will still eventually review Mockingjay Part 1, but stay tuned for my trailer reaction for Madame Web. Bye guys.